The Troy Davis case is an extremely influential case in which capital punishment was questioned. Troy Davis was convicted for the murder of police officer Mark McPhail in Savannah, Georgia. This is an extremely important case in regards to the recent concern on capital murder, and this case exemplifies tunnel vision, skepticism, and overwhelming doubt, which is seen throughout the facts and the faulty eyewitness testimony that the case relies on. Troy Davis was executed by lethal injection in 2011 for allegedly murdering Officer McPhail. He was convicted solely on eyewitness testimony. At the time, young African Americans felt pressured, especially in Georgia, and they did not trust authority. The witnesses felt pressured to give the correct statement due to the intense social and political climate in Georgia at the time. In order to fully understand the impact of the Troy Davis case, analyzing the events of what occurred the night of August 19, 1989 is a necessity. According to the evidence presented at the trial, police officer Mark McPhail responded to an altercation that took place in a parking lot near a Burger King between Larry Young, a homeless person, and Sylvester Red Coles over a beer. Coles was notorious in the town for causing issues. During the altercation, the suspect allegedly took out a .38 revolver and shot McPhail twice. The next day, Coles went down to the station, admitted he was at the crime scene. However, he stated that Troy Davis shot Officer McPhail. No individual investigation was ever opened up on Coles, even though he initially lied about carrying the .38 revolver, but later admitted carrying it with him the night of the murder. He claimed that he lost it when police attempted to recover the gun for testing. He was dismissed based on this statement and was never questioned as a potential suspect. On August 23rd, Davis was arrested on the account of Cole's statements for the murder of Officer McPhail. The trial occurred in 1991 when 9 witnesses took the stand and made statements against Davis in the trial. Georgian officials ruled that the physical evidence in the case was inadmissible and unreliable. This case relies only on eyewitness testimony, which is faulty as we know. According to How Reliable Are Eyewitnesses, 52% of the errors result from eyewitness mistakes. As you can see in the bar chart, eyewitness identification accounts for the largest percent of wrongful convictions, roughly 70%. The Troy Davis case relies on faulty eyewitness testimony. Witnesses did not want to say the wrong statement and often said that they felt compelled to give the right statement. For example, Darren Collins, one of the witnesses on this trial, stated, "After a couple hours of the detectives yelling at me and threatening me, I finally broke down and told them what they wanted to hear. I was still scared that the police would throw me in jail for being accessory to murder if I told the truth of what happened." Along with the statement from Collins, Antoine Williams, an employee of the Burger King the murder took place at, testified and stated, "They gave me a statement and told me to sign it. I signed it. I did not read it because I cannot read. I have no idea what the person who shot the officer looks like." These remarks by the witnesses demonstrate the tunnel vision the police had throughout the case. The authorities were solely focused on convicting Davis based off of little to no evidence just to confirm the murder. Tunnel vision is a predominant theme throughout the case due to the fact that the police pressured witnesses to confess. It goes without saying that the police wanted to speed up this trial and convict Davis for the murder due to the fact that they lost one of their own. After the trial, 6 out of the 9 witnesses recanted their statements. The 1991 court ruling ruled that Davis was guilty for the murder of Officer McPhail and sentenced to death. He then challenged it at the Supreme Court in 2009. Jason Ewart, Davis's attorney, needed to prove that there was clear and convincing evidence. 4 witnesses recanted their statements at the Supreme Court trial, saying that they were coerced by the police to give the right statement. For example, Benjamin Gordon, who originally testified against Davis, testified again in the Supreme Court case and stated that he witnessed Sylvester Red Coles commit the murder of the officer. Coles was one of the few remaining original witnesses who have not recanted their original testimony against Davis. Neither side called Coles to the stand. Even though eyewitness testimony was the only source of evidence used throughout this case, Gordon's testimony should have alerted the law enforcement to privately investigate Coles. Coles was discharged based off of his own personal statement, even though there were an immense amount of evidence pointing the murder towards him. The whole case is he said, she said. However, Coles should have been investigated further because he did admit to being there at the scene at the time of the murder. The Supreme Court ruled against Davis yet again, and he was also denied clemency. At this point, he was out of hope and luck, even though 4 witnesses recanted their statement. New evidence was presented. However, it did not save Davis from execution. The Troy Davis case gained worldwide attention. Millions of people signed petitions to grant Davis clemency, such as former President Jimmy Carter and former FBI Director William Sessions. However, the court denied his requests. Troy Davis was executed in 2011 at 11:08 p.m. by lethal injection in a Jackson prison. His last words were, "I am innocent." The major themes of this case include overwhelming doubt and police tunnel vision. The police just wanted a conviction, and an emotional bias plays a role here because one of their own men was murdered, along with faulty eyewitness testimony, which we know to be inaccurate. Racial factors also play in a role. For instance, since 2011, innocent black men are 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of a murder than innocent white people, according to the National Registry of Exonerations reported. Davis's legacy lives on today, and this case forced the criminal justice system to see the flaws of the case and rethink the characteristics of capital punishment as a whole. It goes to show that Red Coles should have been questioned further, and if that occurred, Davis very well may have been saved.